All right, we are live and back. It is Thursday, and that means that we're streaming. So there we go. Let's see how we do. It's good to see everybody. Starting off with just a little bit of, shaking the rust off and running around, getting some cash, getting some chests, doing the thing. And trying to figure out where my stream is at. So, but let's go to the show. Interesting. Let's go to there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, good to be back in it again on this very lovely, a little bit rainy summer's day. And we're here in actually, reminds me. Because now I can go to me. There we go. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo. Okay. So we're back at it in beautiful Venice, running around, and I'm going to start us off by taking us out of Venice because, we don't usually really get started right away. We're going to go back to the villa, get some money, buy some things. And then I was thinking about doing a couple of the catacombs just to run around and have some fun with that, and then we'll really dive in and have some fun, move the plot forward in Venice, and talk about how things are. I am coming to you from the occupied city of Washington, D.C. Feels weird not to bring it up because, damn it all, it feels weird to be here at all. But, we're doing the damn thing, and what better way to spend a Thursday than playing a game that talks about the complicated relationships between power and resistance and being in a weird future tech assassin space. Definitely, you know, thematically appropriate in some ways. So, going to start off by just trying to get us kitted out a little bit more. Getting towards like the back half of the game, so money is becoming less of an option, less of an obstacle, and I want to make sure that we have all of the equipment we need. And I need to make sure that we have all of the upgrades to the house done. Yep, we're all set here, so that's the last time I need to talk to you, sir. I'm also gonna go up here, drop off some feathers, and before too long, we're going to have to spend some time running around and going to cities, getting art. But that's not today. At least not the first part of today. Art and feathers. Now, for now, we're focused on armaments. My favorite things. Getting swords and armor ready to go, so that because we are going to have some fights coming up in the next little bit. So these are all already owned. Question is, am I wearing them? I thought I was. Let's see. And then how are we doing on weapons? +3, +1, +2, +. So go ahead and pick up the butcher's knife, because that's handy. And then in here, I don't need anything at the moment, but I'm not going to pick those up. Let's see. What else do we got? We already own all these. Let's just... yes, right, the metal glove, which is a cool thing. And there we go.
Count it again.
Right, so now we have a fun metal armed punching glove, which is a good time. And we're starting to feel like we've got equipment. We're kind of set. Swap my sword out for, I think that guy is the one that I want. Let's see if that's actually correct. Yep. Bukhar's blade. And then make sure that I've got the right boots on, because for some reason the color feels off, but yeah, it looks like I'm wearing the right boots. Okay, we're all set. Yeah, and the nice thing is, as we buy armor, as we buy weapons, the value of the villa continues to go up. Things are coming together. So, now that we've done that, we're going to go do some of the tombs that we haven't done yet, just to get those out of the way, and also start getting into some more of the truth things while we're just sort of getting going in the first half hour, and then we'll dive back into the plot as per our usual pacing, get things cooking, and then keep on trucking. Oh, and I'm running. Why didn't I get a horse? Oh, well. You know, it's another, I don't know. It's a weird thing where sometimes games with horses, especially, one of the things that gets really fun as we get later into games like this, later in games when you can like actually like quick call your horse. And that happens here, but just sort of in general across adventure games, the horse gets used more. I feel like you miss out on the horse a lot in Assassin's Creed, in part because you have to go find a horse and remember to, use it. And so it's easy to forget, which is a little silly, but definitely a thing that happens. But for now, we're going to go do this here Assassin's Tomb. This one's a fun one. if memory serves. It's got a fun tower design to it. You sort of start low and work your way up through a very tall tower in a way that is very enjoyable. And we are officially wearing my favorite color in this game. We're getting into the part of the game where it's just sort of like, okay, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. Things are fitting together. Things are turning up, Bruno, in Ezio's world right now. In a way that's, proving to be very enjoyable. It's also interesting coming back to this part of the game where we really are overpowered. If I don't think we're going to be getting into any fights right off the bat, but if we do, it is kind of interesting to find that we are kind of stupidly powerful comparatively. The other thing I was thinking about doing today that I'm not going to drag us through is starting to do more of the side quests and little like errandy type things, doing the assassinations and mail delivery and all that, because part of what that opens up is the sort of romance background side plot. But I think that we'll get into that a little bit more before we get into the end game and do a little cleanup. So not right away, but down the line. So we're going to start here and really just throw ourselves into it for a little bit. Have some fun with rats. The goal here being, the tombs are fun. A part of what's interesting as you get into this is how you can. It's kind of fun. You can unlock Altair's armor and sword before you can unlock sort of the final round of paid upgrades, which is an interesting thing. I'll admit that's part of the reason why I wanted to go back and do the tombs. It's also the game. We're at the point in the game where, increasing our income just makes it easier to get to a point of pushing things through and keeping them moving forward. As much as like it is weird, like playing with the economy of games like this is always kind of strange. You do hit a point where, money feels kind of like a limited resource until suddenly it is very much not a limited resource, which is always a little bit bizarre. Yeah. In the same way that getting into fights for a little while felt incredibly dangerous and now feels really, really perfunctory is not the word I'm looking for. Not even superfluous. Fights are easy. Fights are starting to get easier. And what's interesting, especially in this game where health is sort of simplified, I'm used to thinking about fights and health in modern RPGs and adventure games. The combat, the way they solve for some of the the fights are starting to get a little bit too easy. Is they like when you get into combat, they just send a wall of enemies at you, which is interesting. It doesn't make the game. It doesn't do anything bad to the game. It just makes some of the fights kind of silly. Every once in a while, you'll end up fighting just a dozen dudes for some reason, and if anything, it makes combat a little bit cumbersome and it take longer than it necessarily should, but it's not the worst. Excellent. So here we have one of our secret areas with a fun little chest. and I get to do a little sing-song. This is also fun. I love the design here is nice, where you sort of start in the well and work your way up through the cellar and into the library. And, you know, we're, as you can see, it's continually having us climb the tower, you know, which is, I mean, very much from the jump. The game is built as a like climbing and stealth game. And so it's nice to see that play out and have the design carry forward. Again, it's wild to think that 2 years ago we were in Assassin's Creed 1, where, you know, the everything was much more repetitive. The visuals, the climbing mechanics, like you didn't have unique little portions of wall like those little circle hooks to, you know, both stand out in the space and also that feel part of the architecture, but also clue into like, this is a unique climbing puzzle. It's sort of a different animal entirely, from space to space. So it's fun to be digging into it a little bit more. And yes, we are looting, because right now my goal is actually to make some money. But like the design in this room is fun. Like all of these coats of arms are very interesting. We do, you know, like the symbolism here is all very, the symbolism is not the right word. Good gravy. I've obviously been... Okay, think before I speak. The symbols that they're using here, like the coats of arms and things, are all like, it's nice. You're not seeing as much repetition as you would see in games even 2 years ago, and it really does make this feel like one of the much more interesting versions of this relative to. You know, we're going to see a lot of these tombs. Some of them will start to feel pretty repetitive, but we're not in that at all at the moment. But we are in finding fun secret spaces with chests that have extra money, because money is great. We're also in the, let's see if I can make this stupid jump. Or I can go this way, which I didn't realize you could do. Not bad. Okay, and now we get to the fun part. We're at the top of the tower, or we get to climb out. This is also fun because this is the inside of the tower from the assassination mission with the guy who was ranting from the top of the tower when we went and killed Lorenzo. Where we had to sort of take out the archers as we were trying to climb up from the surrounding buildings. So we're in that tower right now, which is very fun. The Tower de Anderlecht. It's also very entertaining because every once in a while these guards will like throw themselves off while trying to get you. They will like accidentally toss themselves into oblivion, which is kind of entertaining. Yeah, and then this is also one of the more dangerous tombs because the climb will, like, messing up here will kill you very easily. You know, it's a significant fall. It will go bad. So we're gonna try and avoid that. Excellent. All right, and now we're on the last bit before we get up all the way. Let's see. All right. There we go. Excellent. But yeah, the other thing is, the other thing I really like about where we are design-wise is we're in a little bit like they're doing a little bit more with asymmetry. I think that especially in some of the climbing design, you get sort of like mirror, like it's always kind of mirrored, and there's always, you know, an even number, and sort of you're going back and forth. And here, one of the things I really like about how they do the design on this particular climb is that things are clearly asymmetrical. They're built out in a way that I think really does credit to the feeling of this building being an actual building. Meanwhile, double checking the Discord. Right. Okay. So that is 3 of 6. And actually pretty dang good time on that too. That was a solid run with reasonably good speed. So next we're going to go back to Florence and tackle the tomb in the central church there. And then we'll dive into, and then I think we'll dive into Venice, although I do want to see, let's see. I do also want to try and put some energy into, you know, getting through some more of the truth, because there is we're getting into some really interesting, spaces with that one, specifically in terms of the commentary starts to get really, really interesting, relative to who is and isn't being supported by the Templar, like who is and isn't, like who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, and like some of the fact that the dev team is making these comments, you know, sort of making this commentary in 2009, starts to get pretty interesting pretty quickly. Oh, is there a chest up there that I have not? Is it worth going to? Yeah, it is. I'm halfway there. But yeah, we'll talk more about that once we get there. We're not quite there yet, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to put the cart too far before the horse. No more than I already have, which is, you know, not insignificant. My cart and horsing. Now I'm going to kill a man about a chest, which I'm baffled that I somehow missed while I was up here. Do some fun clicking through frames, and then let's do that jump again and mosey on. Okay. Now that begs the question of, quickly, are there any more codex? No, I got the codex pages in here. We're not going to do any of the assassinations or the mail runners or the races today. Alrighty. So let's head north. And by north, I apparently mean south. Doesn't really matter. We'll go to the fast travel and catch a cart to Florence. There we go. Okay, and then let's see. All right. Yeah, plenty of other stuff to do here, but the big thing I want to do is the tomb. We'll deal with viewpoints and other things another time. Oh, the other thing, actually, did I? Right. The other thing I was looking to see is this game doesn't let you leave the Animus. There was a conversation that I wasn't sure if I got. We'll make sure to get it next time around, where Sean and Rebecca and Desmond have a very interesting conversation about whether or not the assassins are the good guys, and what that means, even in relationship to everything else that's going on. We'll make sure to get it next time if we didn't get it last time, so that we can talk about it a little bit more.
On top. They are the most important artifacts in our church.
Yes, Padre. Just make sure to pay us the full sum for our work.
So I was talking last time about one of the things that I don't love is how the game feels compelled to show Da Vinci decoding every codex page as a way to sort of demonstrate verisimilitude, and sort of give a feeling of like, oh yeah, this is real, and Da Vinci's actually doing the thing by calling out references to actual ciphers and actual ways of hiding meaning in documents. And one of the thing, and I think that gets a little bit tiring, in part because it's he does it in a way that is like incredibly fast and kind of, it just feels a little bit played out. But that scene that we watched as we came into the church, I think does the opposite for me, where I think it really works, because it gives you sort of a clean narrative for, okay, we're in like the biggest church in Florence. Why is it empty? Like, churches like this are never really empty. And so we're being shown there's construction happening here. There's something going on about payment. There's a justification for us being here and not having to worry about being seen, which is important because then in future games, we will have sort of similar runs where we're trying to either where we're trying to get to a catacomb or a tomb through a big church that is crowded, and where we are like attempting to avoid detection. And so having that there does sort of create, for me at least, a little bit of nice narrative consistency in a way. Like I wanted to point that out because I think that they do know how to do the thing well. it isn't always sort of a little bit cheesy and a little bit overdone. And I think it's worth, I think it is worth sometimes hanging a lantern on that and just sort of saying, okay, this is something that is well done. And I think demonstrates that competency that I think is part of the reason why part of the reason why a lot of people really love these games and think that they are so strong is that they do have that competency for like that sort of integrated narrative approach to storytelling. Like, do I jump onto that cross? No, I don't jump onto that cross. I need to work my way around. There we go. For some reason, I have making my way downtown walking fast. I cannot remember the name of the song or the artist. I don't think it's Alanis Morissette. But I have that song stuck in my head, and it keeps, and every time I say anything sort of vaguely or remotely approximating the song's lyrics, my brain is just like, yeah, we're going to do that again. And maybe that's because of like this, the age of this game, that's sort of time appropriate. Sort of. No. Damn. Okay. This is a frustrating spot because in a lot of ways it would be easier at times if I did die if I fell because of like hitting checkpoints and that sort of thing. But, every once in a while you just sort of slip sideways because you're talking about having songs stuck in your head that have nothing to do with the game. So that's on me. I mean, like, as if it wouldn't be. Like, who else would it be on? Okay. And then I think, let's see, which way? All right. Right, and then scoot. But then it does bother me that the stained glass is all just the same weird representation, and also like kind of, I don't know, these stained glass bits in particular feel a little Eastern Orthodox to me, which I know like they're not, and like iconographic art looks a lot of different ways, but it bugged me a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes. Money. I want this chest from this secret area. I just like when I get the secret area text that pops up. It does make me feel somewhat more accomplished. Like it's not that much money, but it does feel pretty cool. And then no, there's over there. Right. Okay. Yes. There's a way to get out of here that makes it less likely that I will end up falling and fucking up, which is, there we go. And there we go. Okay. Whew. Nope. Yep. Had it right the first time. I do very often when sometimes it is hard to talk when I'm especially like up high in this game, because I get distracted by the fact that I can feel the tension of the heights, which is, again, like good game design, I think, but also doesn't always make for good streaming. So owning that here and now, as I try to not fall to my death, but also like try to continue to produce good content. Like that shot with that fun little pivot of the camera gave me a little vertigo in a way that was like, ooh, I don't love this. This feels a little bit heightsy and a little unpleasant and ugh. But we did it. So that's another tomb down. Some more money for us to spend, one step closer to reclaiming the armor of Altair. Guess how many times we're going to reclaim Altair's armor across the course of this game? The answer is too many times. But it is fun, and the take on Altair's costume as an Italian, as a Renaissance Italian armor fit is very satisfying, like incredibly satisfying. All right, I'm really pleased we got through both of those tombs in half an hour. So, like, exceptional time. And puts us in a really great place to get back to Venice and do some good stuff there, moving the plot forward and then doing a little cleanup and picking up some more of the truth. Because there are some fun little bits and bobs in that. Where? Oh, there it is. Because I think I can jump from. Yeah. Oh, right. Yes. It's like for a second I thought I was fucked. And then again, haha. Cool. Okay. So one more. Pop into the villa to pick up some money and spend some money.
Buongiorno.
Then we'll go see our other girlfriend, because at this point we're just like dating up a storm. Ezio does his thing and gets around, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Assuming I know where there is, which I don't. I need to go there. Excellent. So, okay. All right, we already got that codex. No need to talk to the doctor. Yammer. But onward, upward, and away.
Hey, is that necessary?
Yeah, somehow I just ran in the absolute wrong direction away from the church that we were at, but here we are. And it is fun that you get those occasional contradictory barks from folks in the street.
Let me live.
Damn. It's not worth chasing the thief. Okay.
A pleasure doing this.
Okay, maybe it is, because that way I can buy John the Baptist before I go. Come on. Really? Climb. Tackle? Oh no, I already took your money. Okay. Fine. Where'd the thief go now? Oh, he's over there? Dang. Well done. Oh. Alright, well, in that case, we'll come over here, get this codex page while we're thinking about it, and move on. Oh, shit. Oops. Yeah. Didn't realize that there were so many of them.
Give them hell.
I hate the ones that are resistant to counters. Counter resistance is bad. Don't like counter resistance. There we go. Yes. Nice. Deeply satisfying. And we're done. Okay. Not what I wanted to do, but hey, you know, not a waste of time.
Rest in peace. Misery,
Poor
violence,
tangled mass of
death.
flesh. To think one human would do this to another.
Okay, I do want to buy that painting so I don't have to come back and do it. But I think I'm just going to have to get over that. It's not like we're going to not come back to Florence. Okay. One more time, back to the villa. Thankfully, we had enough. Alright, so now we...
Don't be shy.
I do wish, I mean, I will go back and pull clips, but it is really fun to see how much, like, the appearance of the villa changes as you renovate it. It is deeply satisfying to watch it sort of brighten up and become a place that is really pretty. Just so gorgeous. And I too want a hidden cavern behind a movable bookshelf. All right, so which one? I think you. Yeah. Okay. And then you? No. Was it this guy? Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's true. The basement is basically this. And who knows? Once the forge is up and running, maybe it will look even more like this. Who can say? But for now, we're going to go do a little bit of shopping and then go throw ourselves into Venice and then do some... We're going to do the Venice plot and then truth. We'll do some hunting of the truth sections, because I think that is, we're getting into the weirdness of it. It gets weird. It gets so weird. It gets so weird, and I'm very excited to talk about it today. I had a very good conversation with a friend of mine I hadn't seen in a long time about specifically about like the ways in which like, I mean, there's someone I worked with when I did a lot more video production around like board leadership and that sort of thing. And we were talking about sort of the way back before we even talked about ESG, we like companies invested in their communities because it was like good business practice. Like you funded the like you funded the prom, you funded like you helped you like I think about like, and this is long ago in the American economic mindset, and the truth starts to get into like interesting ways of overlapping with where that mindset comes from in weird ways that I'm excited for us to get to. You know, we start going from like these artifacts that are important in how we think about history, and then it very quickly becomes something even weirder. So I'm very excited for that. You know, stop getting stuck behind signs. What's wrong with you? Gallop better. I do like that horse. It's very pretty. I also need to remember to clip myself yelling "gallop better" at the screen. Brain. Horsey run. Horsey run. Dude, you can jump. Come on. You can do better than this. I believe in you, Horsey. I believe. And now, some loading screens. Really thrilling content right now. Me sitting here yelling at a digital horse, loading screens. Me commenting on digital horse and loading screens. We're getting meta now. It's very entertaining. Meanwhile, I recently, with Val and I, my wife Val and I, recently started throwing ourselves into Dropout, and boy oh boy, it is so good to get back to consuming improv, because it makes this whole process of streaming feel so much less. I feel less like a crazy person, because there is an aspect of this that is like, oh, you're kind of insane. Like, I'm playing a video game, normal, especially, you know, like nowadays I'm, you know, almost 40, approaching 40, late 30s, and playing a video game. Like, it's something that would have been commented on, but is now very normal. But then, you know, and like, I'm hardly the only person streaming out here in the world. I know I sound even crazier commenting on all of this than the actual thing that I'm doing. So I don't know what's happening, but we're just going to keep rambling. The process of streaming a video game, whether you have like an intent of like, oh yeah, I'm going to have some sort of commentary about it, or I'm just going to, you know, play a video game and then talk at it / whoever's watching me do it, is patently batshit. It's wild. Like, it's just so crazy. It's not if you think about it for too long, it baffles the mind, because if I was playing this game the way I have many times before, I would just be sitting quietly and, you know, engaged with it, or like playing it, listening to a podcast, occasionally pausing for a cutscene. But like here, it's sort of, this is how you get to Bald Man Yells at Digital Horse, because that's, you know, otherwise like I don't know. Would it be more insane for you guys to log on and just sort of watch me quietly playing the game most of the time, and then occasionally being like, and here are my very salient academic thoughts about this? Because, like, I don't know, that's kind of tempting. I did think about that being sort of the format, and then I realized that A, that's kind of boring, and B, I don't know. I like talking, and it would start to feel weird as like I was as someone being observed, like, you know, it'd be strange. Anyway, this is I mean, I feel like a good April Fool's stream is also trying to think of like what is the opposite of an Assassin's Creed game? I feel like I should just for April Fools, I would just I think it would be I would just plug in Yoshi's Island and not comment at all on the fact that I'm playing Yoshi's Island. Like, just plug in the N64 and just be like, cool, Yoshi's Island is happening. I don't know why that's the opposite of Assassin's Creed in my mind, but it is. So I have very little awareness of Katamari Damacy, and so I don't even I don't even have peripheral thoughts, let alone academic ones. I mean, I think the actual thing to do is I would put on like my first stream and just without a mic, like just sit here with a bowl of popcorn and make you guys watch my first stream with me. Like, I would, and it would just be me silently eating popcorn and watching me stream. Which sounds like, to be completely honest, that's hell. That would be my hell personally. But it also sounds like it would be very, very funny.
Yeah.
Also realizing I left Telegram open on a window I can see, and I shouldn't have done that because now I'm mad. Guys, we live in a bad country. It's as I ride this beautiful digital horse through this beautiful mountain pass, I just want to remind everyone out here, all the people who are currently on that, we're I'm currently I live in DC. I'm streaming from the District of Columbia, and tonight is we're in the first week of federal occupation, and it's rough out there right now. It really is. Worried about our communities. I'm worried about the unfortunate unhoused communities who are, being disrupted even further this evening by what is happening, and it's rough. But I think that's why looking at games and stories like this and sort of how they choose to frame history and where they, choose to make statements and engage actively in a political in levels of political commentary, and where they don't, I think that is, it's not like revolutionary. That's, it's a part of what I love to do in terms of media literacy and engaging in certain types of close reading. It's not going to change the world, but I think it is important because I think it also helps us to be more mindful of the things we are reading in the games we play. Right. So, like, I think that there are I think that it's one of those things where like BioShock, pivoting on like Assassin's Creed and BioShock are interesting things. They are in conversation with each other as games when they come out. And I think that, it's sort of interesting. BioShock is a very interesting game when you sort of look at it through the Randian lens. And I think, it takes having that literacy to look at it. And I think that in the same way, Assassin's Creed is a more interesting game and in a lot of ways a more complicated and fraught game when you look at it through thoroughly historical lens. Part of that, it's hard to do that sometimes, like inside of the gameplay, but I think it does do a lot to enhance how we think about games and enhance how we think about what's happening in our world right now. And we're just, so I didn't have enough money to fast travel to Venice, so I took us through the mountains, and then I was like, I don't want to come back to the mountains ever again. I'm gonna get all the chests here. And then I made the terrible mistake of leaving Telegram open in a window that I could see, and then I reminded the stream that we live in DC and I have big thoughts and feelings about it. And then before that, we were going through, I cleared a couple more tombs. Actually, the first half hour we managed to get through 2 tombs, which is pretty solid. Like I feel so we are 4 out of 6 tombs down to get Altair's armor, which is fun. And now we're going to head back to Venice and dive in. Before we dive into talking about the truth, we're going to do a little bit more active digging through the truth today, because we're starting to get into the transition in sort of that meta, conspiracy plot from sort of the historical, like these artifacts are powerful and mystical, into these artifacts let us do things to people and markets. Abstergo, like where it's where the Templar kind of transition in the sort of conspiracy theory space understanding from what we're seeing them as more directly inside of Ezio's time and into something that's a little bit more in line with how we think about like contemporary conspiracy theories around, like, I mean, I guess it is like there is a little bit of like conspiracy theories like this. It's hard to look at them without thinking a little bit about the Elders of Zion and some really problematic conspiracy spaces around like the types of people that control governments and media apparatus and that sort of thing. But we'll dig into that as we get into the specifics. And yes, half capes and cloaks like this did exist. They weren't used as prominently. So I believe, Tom, what you're referring to is prosperity gospel. Sorry to say, I'm pretty sure that is exactly what sort of prosperity gospel is kind of referring to. The idea that and I think to some extent that is also there is a reasonable connection between the Templar as a sort of, especially in this phase, in this iteration, as we are seeing them, I don't know how many times we've heard it, but like, may the Father of Understanding guide us is very much a nod to that sort of mentality. I think that there is sort of a difference of opinion inside of how we see the Templar play out. And as to whether or not they all believe in, like whether or not they all or any of them believe in God actually.
It's so good to see you.
But I mean, I think that most.
You found another one. How exciting.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So that's like the Potsy specifically, like the initiating incident in this game was a personal conflict between Templar and Assassin bankers. Like Ezio's family were Florentine bankers, the Potsy were Florentine bankers, and that's sort of where that conflict came into play. But I think also most conspiracy theories come back to banking because they involve relationships around power. Part of the reason that it's really easy to frame Ezio's family in banking is because it is about a relationship to power, and like the idea that as assassins and as quote unquote good people, they were good bankers. They leveraged that power to bring benefit to society in a way that the game is trying to present as being positive, while and egalitarian, while the Potsy and the Templar are doing that in a way that is meant to be seen as selfish and negative and controlling, if not destructive, which produces interesting parallels to what you're seeing as this game is coming out post 2008 and the financial crisis and the real estate bubble, and like all of those things play in. But I think like that's what conspiracy theories inevitably flow back to something tied to currency and money, because in modern society, it is hard to imagine a power structure that does not have a fundamental grounding in controlling or heavily manipulating those forces. Now let's climb a tall tower to impress a lady.
Climbing with the scaffolding is all well and good. But let's see how you do out in the open.
The only thing taller than this tower is my intellect today. Apparently I'm fucking on one. Not hating it. Social and otherwise. Social, literal, political. I mean, hell, we've seen my death count in this game. It ain't low. So I feel like Ezio's climbing all sorts of shit. You know what? I'm gonna say a thing and I'm gonna regret it immediately, because I'm worried by saying it I will summon it into existence if it isn't already. They've already done Assassin's Creed magic cards, and they're pretty good. Like, not gonna lie. And I think honestly, Assassin's Creed as a magic crossover, I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about Universes Beyond. But like the Assassin's Creed cards were good. Like there are pirates and rogues and all sorts of things that I think like make a lot of sense inside of both Assassin's Creed and Magic. And the thing I'm going to say that I worry will summon things into existence is I don't know if, and I hope they haven't put Ezio in a Fortnite game. But I'm a little bit worried that they have, or that they will. And now I'm mad. Like, how did he see me while I was jumping out of that fucking tower?
Looks like you've learned all I have to teach you. I'll let Antonio know the progress. Finish your other tasks. We're almost there.
Also, she got kind of French at the end there, you know. Also, I guess I don't know. This is kind of like in the realm of, is the stream doing very badly, which is why there are a ton of bots, or is the stream doing better why there are because there are way more bots lately, which is, in the same way that I when I was young, I had the thought of like, I keep getting offers for credit cards. My credit must be great. And it's like, nah, dude, that ain't how that shit works. I'm gonna hope it's a good sign. I'm gonna hope that it is unlike getting, a dozen credit card offers every time the mail gets delivered. I'm gonna hope that it is a good sign about the consistency and viewership of the stream. But who the fuck knows? Like, it's all a crapshoot. Also, bots, like, I feel like the production of bots is getting infinitely easier. Who knows? It's all Calvin Ball. Like, truly. Likewise, I really appreciate. Shout out to you as a mod for doing what I simply cannot while holding a controller in my hand. Although I saw oh god, it must have been earlier this week. I saw an article about a streamer who was using a neural point head rig to play and stream, which was terrifying, but also pretty fucking cool. Like, not gonna lie, if I could do that, I would be very tempted to. That sounds sick as shit. Like, if I could have my hands, like, honestly, if I could be knitting and listening to a podcast while playing a video game, I mean, that might kill me, but like, it would be fun. Although I don't know if my brain, if a brain, my brain or any other could actually break up. Could actually break up the process of telling the game to do things, like by pushing a button versus Yo, my ADHD brain loves doing so many things all at once. I want to do all the things all the time. I wish I could do more things at once. Like, I literally had a conversation with my therapist today about how I feel like my brain really, really wants to be able to do more things. So that I could not do. I could not do a podcast and a video game and something else that was audiovisual. That would ruin me. Like, if I were somehow able to play a video game with my brain, or like without needing the use of my hands, I could podcast and game and do something like tactile. That's why the idea of like knitting or something. Oh, I can see that. Like, I could see watching a baseball game, like having a baseball game on in the background or something. I'm sad the Orioles suck this year, and that means they'll probably suck forever. I really meant to follow them this year because I've been a fan since I was a small child playing. I was a catcher, and I was a damn good one too. But I'm being shanghaied very gently into a fantasy football league, and I know like when I'm watching football, I understand a little bit about, like, I know about the game of football. I can watch a game of football and understand when a play is being well executed. Like, I have a sense of like the use and importance and like distinction of the various positions, really, like the various like offense, defense, what the line is doing, and etc. But like, I don't have a team, and I'm very anxious about actually trying to grok football. Man, baseball's weird right now. I thought the point of the cornerback is like you protect the pocket, and then like the cornerback protects the pocket, but can also like is sort of your backup, so that you can do like a lateral toss if you need to get the ball out. There's sort of like a cornerback is kind of like a running back with a little bit of a, but I mean, that's also me kind of trying to remember shit my grandfather tried to explain to me 20 years ago. So I could be entirely wrong. This is that moment when we really need Carly and or Rob on the stream to be like, yeah, let's, like, while Bruno is playing Assassin's Creed, we'll have a very robust conversation in chat about like the ins and outs of the various positions inside of a football team, which would be very helpful to me, honestly. But you know, can't always get what you want. Oh, shut up. I shouldn't be up here. You shouldn't be up here. Why are you patrolling a roof? Fucking crazy. Reminds me of when I used to load in shows in downtown DC, and we would play Count the Sniper, which was always fun. Run away. I'm not a threat. See? Look, I'm gone. Okay. So this is a minor thing. One of my biggest problems with the design of Venice, which is like gorgeous. Like, I love how they built this whole city. It's stunning. It looks great. It's fun to run around. There are certain surfaces that you cannot climb, like you just cannot get up, and you should be able to. Like, there are certain docks that you just can't grab onto and climb up on, and I get it. Like, you can't design for everything, and sometimes something breaks, and to fix it, you have to break things more, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it is like truly my only gripe about free running and the design in this beautiful cityscape. Okay. Moving the plot forward by stealing things, starting as soon as I can jump off of this roof and into the water. Sploosh. All right, I guess as soon as was a little bit. I jumped the gun. Also, sometimes I wonder, and I know it's not actually true. I know that like this, you don't get ADHD from playing video games, but like they definitely made video games for people with ADHD, especially this type of game, because like I can't jump onto or walk next to a thing that has a glowy, hey look, it's a chest, it has money, without doing something about it. It just, my brain won't let me.
Rescuing my brothers was more than just an act of charity, ACII. The men you freed will play a vital role in the restoration. Just ask for their help and they'll join.
And once I have my little band of thieves,
Send them towards a group of guards and they'll create a distraction.
opening the way for me.
Exactly.
Saves me from having to bloody my sword. I like it.
Exactly. Now I'll tell you what to do. Antonio's plan calls for a bit of deception. We're to imitate his archers, which means we'll need the armor that they wear. A shipment of the stuff has just been loaded into chests and now awaits delivery to Seta. Loot the chests and retrieve the outfits. When that's finished, I'll need you to fetch me a boat as well and bring it back here. We'll use it to move our men into the Palazzo undetected.
Consider it done.
Don't worry, it's a special boat, because I know it's kind of weird for him to be like, hey, I need a boat, as I'm looking at a very much unguarded boat. Damn you. But very, very, very sneaky. Be very sneaky and very quiet. Bye. Okay. Also, never swim in the canals. They're so gross. I did not understand this until I went to Venice, and then I went to Venice, and dude, oh, the smell. Whew. Like, at this point, ACII would have so many communicable diseases. All right, and now we're going to leverage our friends. You hire thieves, and they literally just go and they just sort of say, hey, chase me. It's very satisfying.
Come and get your red hot heart.
It is unfortunate that we have also reached the point in this game where like free running is now a little bit more complicated. So there are moments where I'm just like, I have to focus on landing this move just right. And it's like, no, you don't. It's going to be fine. But my brain is like, no. If you talk, you're going to fuck up. Be quiet, Bruno. And so I wonder if there are any other friends over here that I could bring with me to try and make this a little bit less of a pain. Let's see. Hey, look. So there are. What up, boys? We're going to go over here and... Nope, not them. Don't give a shit about them. Oh, fuck, that startled me. Sorry. Okay. Now we're just gonna go over here and steal what's in this box. Good God, shut up, man. When I want you to sing me a terrible song, I will ask for it. Okay. Climbing up the side of this building. Yes, here we go. Okay. No, fuck. Don't fall down, don't fall down, don't fall down out of stupidity. So I spent, when I was in Venice, the one trip that I was here, I spent a very lovely afternoon hanging out in that little park. And it was lovely. Oh, row. Yes, there we go. Haha, I stole your boat. Suck it. Also, this is not how rowing works, but hey, it's fun. Fun because it just lets me truck along. in my little blue boat. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. But I want to keep it. Ugh, so dumb.
Molto bene, ACII. This is exactly what we need. I'll let Antonio know you finished the job.
Now I'm just having this conversation perched on the end of the boat. It's a pretty little boat. Okie dokie. Now we get to go see Antonio. Oh, I'm sorry, Broomman. God, doing such a bad job at moving. Ugh. Okay. So during one of the tombs, I talked about how there are some scenes that, like, you know, we get the Da Vinci. So every time you bring a codex to Da Vinci, they like make a whole thing about him decoding the codex, which I think is dumb, because it's like, you don't need to do it every single fucking time, but they do, and it's fine. And I get it. They're trying to produce immersion. And then there's a scene at the tomb in Florence where they have they basically tee up why the church is empty. Like it's a scene with the priests or with monks and builders, and it does a really good job of like, okay, no, this is actually good. It's like creating a justification for why this building that would never be actually empty is empty, and that's fun and interesting and good. In my mind, to me. We're now going to see a thing that I think, again, we're going to see another thing that I think is bad, which is a thing that was like weirdly common, I think, at like in Assassin's Creed game, but also like in this time in games, which is the like single button prompt, like optional interaction that has like zero narrative consequence. It's like, we've seen them before. It's like you can hug Da Vinci or not when you drop him off at his workshop. We're going to get another one of those. I find this sort of thing tiresome. I'm glad I think we've generally stopped doing this now that we're in the like you forking paths model of games, but which also has their own problems. You'll see what I mean.
Please enter.
Your good work has restored us to our former strength. We are ready.
Just tell me what needs to be done, and I'll see that it is.
You'll approach from above under the cover of night. Emilio has posted archers around the palazzo. Kill them, but do so quietly. As they fall, my men shall replace them.
What about the guards?
When you finish with the archers, we'll regroup in front of the building and discuss next steps.
Nessun problema. I'll take care of the archers and return to you.
Then it's settled. In bocca al lupo.
There's no reason that I should have to press Y there. There's just no, like, it's not necessarily, it's just not necessary. If you want that scene to happen, it should happen. If you want it to be an option where it would have an impact, we're a ways off from that being a part of games like this. You know, we're not in KOTOR. I'm not trying to gain influence at the moment with different characters. But it is, I know it shouldn't frustrate me, but it does. Also, yes, hair rendering has come a long way since this game. But that guy looks not exactly. That guy looks so much in my mind like a guy I know who lives in Philly and is in a punk band with a good friend. And it's every time I see him, it's very, very funny. I'm not going to shout out the band though, because I don't want I don't want him to take offense with the fact that wow, You just walked right off the edge of that. You don't usually do that. I don't want him to take offense if he doesn't think he looks like that guy, because it's like not 1-to-1, but it's close enough that every time I see it, it's hard for me to ignore it. Why are you holding your sword? What the fuck? ACII, you did such a bad job. You had one job, and it's not to fall and die. You're supposed to be good at it. And I guess technically you could say it's my fault because I'm the one holding the controller, but no. I don't even know who I was mocking there. Am I mocking me? Am I mocking him? It's really hard to say. Definitely mocking the dumb helmets that the soldiers wear. I don't think we've talked about it, but like they are so stupid. And it's like it is a problem of the rendering can only do so much, but they look so dumb. Like that guy with the full helmet with the face shield looks kind of like a Mon Calamari, and I can't get over it, and it's just stupid. Which is fun. Like, I mean, you know, enemies, yes, enemy soldiers should look kind of stupid. Like it's okay. They should look kind of doofy. But at the same time, I'm, you know.
I've distilled an elixir of lead and pomegranate.
I do also love. I've distilled an elixir of lead and I've distilled an elixir of lead and pomegranate. It's just. It's a thing. It's a thing that, like, again, I've played this game enough times. Like, I've heard that one phrase, you know, over and over and over in a way that, oh, whoa, how do you do that? That was weird. I've heard that one phrase over and over and over again in a way where I'm just like, yes, I will, like, it will, it will always pop into my head at random moments. It's just a weird brain thing. Also, apparently I shouldn't try to talk while I'm trying to kill specific people. Oh. Okay. Could have sworn that... Well, doesn't matter. He did. Oh, God. Doing such a bad job with not falling off of things. Really, really got to be more careful about that.
Over here.
Well done, ACII. Everything is going according to plan. As we speak, my men are taking the archers with the move. The way to the palazzo is clear now.
See the helmets? They even have like fins, which is like a structural thing to make sure that, but still.
They can distract the guards, save you from having to fight.
When it comes time to storm the place, remember what I've taught you.
Seek out, though, ACII. We await word of your success.
The game desperately wants us to use thieves. Desperately. So we're gonna.
All right.
Because it does make this a lot easier.
All yours.
And then we just hang out over here. Wait in the corner for a minute. They run off. Who knows how that big guy ran off with all that armor. But they're busy. And we climb. Whoop-a-doop-a-doop. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, like, so this is one of the things. Looking way ahead. One of the things I really like about the latest Assassin's Creed game is so cover gets much more involved as environmental rendering gets better. So you know, well, in a moment.
A minor.
will be dealt with. This povero Scemo Antonio and his thieves.
Never mind that. The assassin you should be worried about.
What? Is he in Venezia?
He's been here for weeks. How could you be so blind?
I have been busy. Someone had to provide the weapons to our brothers in Firenze. Yes.
So in the modern games, like there's grass and shadow, and like time of day has a much bigger impact on sight lines and that sort of thing. But in the latest game, I think I brought this up before, you can cut when you get into combat in grass, it gets rid of your cover. So you have to actually be mindful of like where you are and how much where you are and how much fighting you're doing, so that if you're trying to go the stealth route, you actually need to be mindful of not getting rid of the cover that you have available to you. Doop, 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 doop. Oh, no, fuck you. I've got to kill him before he gets on his boat. Shit. No. Stop it. Stop running. Where'd you go? Why are you so stupidly fast, you old man? How are you doing this? God. We're just going to play fucking Ring Around the Rosie until I kill you. Okay.
Not be afraid.
I feel no fear, assassin. Only regret. I sought unity, stability, order.
At too great a cost.
Progress demands sacrifice.
Non trova alcuna gioia in questo, ma non c'è altro modo. Requiescat in pace.
Okay, it's really good that we end on like that we're gonna move away from the primary plot on progress demand sacrifice. We've got a little bit of cinematic, but don't worry, we're heading into the truth now.
Let's open the gate for Antonio.
That was a very dainty landing for that much armor, but here we are. Again, just poking holes.
Setna's fallen and Emilio is no more. All thanks to you, Ezio. Go! Tear down Emilio's banners. Return what he has stolen from the people.
Look, women are just powerful, and I'm brave enough to say it on stream.
How can I repay you for your service?
Sorry. Couldn't even keep a straight face of that. Women are powerful, and they deserve all of our respect, but that is not what that was about. That was just like a weird fucking rendering thing.
You know him.
Carlo Grimaldi. He sits on the Council of Ten. Why do you ask?
Grimaldi.
I have a meeting to attend.
They only hurt me if I'm good. No, shit. I said that on mic and James is here. God damn it. Fuck. I will learn someday. I will learn. I haven't learned, but I will. Someday I will. Good God. Idiot me. Anyway. Okie dokie. I thought you were on my side. I thought we were friends. Alrighty. So we are nope, that's the wrong button. Going for the database. Locations. Venice. Okay. Actually, yeah, okay. We're gonna do some secret hunting. So we're gonna start with well, let me mark. Fuck. Okay. Okay, fine. Well, speaking of only hurting me when I'm good, let's go take a look at the truth. God. That was vile. That was vile. I'm better than that. I think. I hope. Maybe. I don't know. God, now I don't even know anymore. Also, is this not the bridge? I thought this was. There it is. Okay. It's like, what the fuck? Where's this thing? The truth. Okie dokie. So, oh, and we get into, oh man, we get into more fun puzzles too. Okay.
Something was up there. Something abandoned long ago.
Guess what? Moon landing truther time. It's not that we didn't go to the moon. They definitely think we did. Okay. What the fuck is that? Weird alien writing. Oh boy. I don't even know what that says. Where is it? It's beeping. Where the fuck is it? Oh, like way fucking closer than I thought it was. Okay. With these formidable weapons, the adversaries of freedom plan to consolidate their territory, to exploit, to control, finally to destroy JFK. Fun rotating things, puzzle. Okay. Ooh, nice. All right. So, now we get some fun conspiracy theory shit. I'm going to go around over here because I can't remember if there's anything actually interesting in the space. No. Okay. Under the American flag, guess what? It was Abstergo the whole time. Fucking weird, huh? Then over here, so then not on the spacesuit, this flag covered in Templar crosses. Again, fucking weird. And guess what? It's a piece of Eden.
It was easy.
So yeah, the moon landing was a Templar plot to get a piece of Eden off of the moon. Yep. No, they claimed the moon to get an orb from there. It's wild. Okay, so that is Secret of the Truth #1. Now we gotta go find the church that is somewhere around here that I definitely remember. Well, for where the other one is. You know what, Tom? That's a great question. How did the orb get on the moon? That's a really good question. That's a really, really good question. Do you happen to recall a while back when I asked you how many aliens you thought were in the Assassin's Creed games? Yeah. Anyway, don't worry about that now, because we will get more information on that eventually. Both sooner than, and in like way more hours than you think we should. But now I gotta figure out where the fuck. I can't remember. Like, I thought there was a way to mark this. One of those landmark keys, you could find it. Constructed. San Giacomo, oldest church in Venice. Where is it? I won't. Oh, okay. It's a church, which means it will be on the map. Oh. So it's in this district, which makes me think it's over. Fuck. Is it here? Must be here. It's gotta be that way. Yeah. So, why did they go to the moon? How do they know there was an orb on the moon? These are all pressing and important questions. And like some of these, and granted, like I'm making some hay out of this because it's very entertaining to do so. We don't get answers to everything. But you know, it's not only very silly, this is very much in the, like, this feeds, you know, this is where we really start to get into, this game is going to start pulling on conspiracy theories that are historically associated with conservative thinkers and conservative thoughts. You know, and it's going to start pulling on them in ways that don't, I think that especially with even a little bit of poking, prodding, and critical thinking, don't, you know, endorse the conservative thought process behind a lot of those conspiracy theories. But like, it does, you know, the game is very intentionally leveraging those ideas and using them as your entry points and vectors. And so for folks who are already bought into that space, that becomes a very easy, you know, that sort of, you know, they aren't changing it enough to make it feel unappealing, right? They're not out here trying to make it seem like they're not out here trying to poke fun at these conspiracies to make them seem like, oh, look at this, it's totally unrealistic. They're using them to say, oh, look at this, to interestingly frame this, you know, obviously very compelling and interesting narrative that we are building. So as soon as I can fucking find the next one, and then we'll start jumping around. Yeah. Shut up. I'm working on it. I don't think I know. Where the fuck is the church? This is very frustrating. I thought that I could place a marker. Maybe I can't. Is it this? Maybe it's that. It must be that. Again, I'm like increasingly thinking that what's next is going to be Batman, but like Spider-Man would also be a lot of fun. Although who knows, maybe it'll be The Witcher. Like, who the fuck knows? Like, that's so far in the future. It's absolutely insane to even speculate on what the thing after all of this is done. Okay, yes, here's the church. Okay. And let's see. Where is, no, that's water. Where are you? Okay, we are. Oh. So The Witcher 3, interestingly, so I want to go back and play I kind of want to go back. I tried to go back and play The Witcher 2, and let me tell you, was hard. Witcher 3 is about to come out with a
To stop the cycle. To tell the secrets. Shit. Gotta keep thinking through the headaches.
I mean, Witcher 2, I think the hardest part was the mechanic. Like, mechanically, it's just really, really rough. But, like, content aside, Witcher 3, they're coming out with new DLC in anticipation of the new Witcher game, like, later this year. They just came out with a big content patch. Anyway, you know, CD Projekt Red, games aren't finished. All right. So this, from Nikola Tesla, the economic transmission of power without wires is of all surpassing importance to man. By its means, he will gain complete mastery of the air, the sea, and the desert. It will enable him to dispense with the necessity of mining, pumping, transporting, and burning fuel, and so do away with innumerable causes of sinful waste. It will make the living, glorious sun his obedient, toiling slave. It will bring peace and harmony on earth. So, Tesla is being set up here as like Tesla's the guy. Like, Tesla saw the capacity for power, like as a great potential. It's just misunderstandings are always caused by the inability of appreciating one another's point of view. The best way to dispel ignorance of the doings of others is by a systematic spread of general knowledge. With this object in view, it is most important to aid exchange of thought and intercourse. Nikola Tesla. Money does not represent such a value as men have placed upon it. All my money has been invested into experiments with which I have made new discoveries, enabling mankind to have a little easier life. So basically, so here we are coming into like, this setup is presenting a view of like, these are things that the game thinks is good. Like fights between individuals as well as governments and nations invariably result from misunderstandings in the broadest interpretation of this term. So again, we can talk about the complicated nature of Tesla as a person and all that, but like, the game is framing this as like, this is the aspect of Tesla that the game is choosing to say, we should valorize this. He found it in Croatia. What did he find? He found an apple. He found an apple of Eden in Croatia, which gave him access to information that got him to
They would find it.
ACII and a lot of his coils are orbs. Oh, and like, we have more clips. I don't know if you've been paying attention to these. So these are the last two clips that we've got. Fucking weird, right? But so the game is presenting Tesla, as sort of the ideal. And that's, this is sort of the beginning of this is very early on in the contemporary awareness of sort of the, how I think a lot of people today talk about the rivalry between Tesla and Edison and sort of how that shook out and the long-term impacts of that. I think that conversation has changed a lot, from where things were when this game came out, and in many ways now align much more directly with what is being presented to us in this sort of snapshot of Tesla. Tuscany, that's where we're going. Okay. It is, and again, it's something that let's get through the next couple secrets and we'll poke at it a little bit more. Because again, I think it's like this is starting to get to the crux of it for me, or at least like the beginnings of the crux of it for me. Very much in this TED Talk kind of moment, vibe, feeling. Oh, also, if I haven't pointed this out before, all of these are like all of the things we're seeing are visuals that we saw on like painted in blood inside of the lab at Abstergo before we escaped at the end of Assassin's Creed 1. Okay, so now we go from Tesla to Edison. So the Edison archive, which we get to unlock. So now we're doing some fun with cipher wheels. This is great. So we're looking for a clue here. And if I look over at the diagram, which we can see the Tesla diagram that's being noted here, at the very bottom, we see 4 equals 1. So we're going to go ahead and align the 4 to the 1, which means we get 9 becomes 6, 1 becomes 8. And 7 becomes 4. Or 9 becomes 2. 1 becomes 4. And 7 becomes 0. There we go. All right, from the laboratory of Thomas A. Edison. Dear Mr. Morgan, a serious matter has come to my attention. Nikola Tesla plans to use PE4, Piece of Eden 4, to create an information network across the entire world. And if that weren't bad enough, he intends to allow access to it for free. Imagine the masses spreading knowledge amongst themselves instantaneously. That would make everything we intend to do much more difficult. You must cut all funds for his experiments at once. In case you get cold feet, I'll have you know he wants to make electricity free as well, thereby putting us out of business. I've already begun slandering Tesla in the press. Just relocate his funding, and I'll take care of PE4 myself. Sincerely yours, Thomas Edison. So, basically taking the relationship between Edison and Tesla and sort of their contentious relationship, the idea that the historical circumstance that we have a lot of evidence for that Edison functionally ruined Tesla, at least financially. There was a lot going on with Tesla that we can get into elsewhere. Taking that idea and turning it into something that is about if nothing else, a piece of Eden, and implying that Edison knew enough about what's going on to be able to refer to it as a piece of Eden, and not just an object. So implying that Edison was in some way tied in with the Templar. And then Edison, creator of DC electricity, accuses Tesla of, I missed what that is, but like, this is the slander. JP Morgan votes funding for Tesla's projects. Edison creates the electric chair to prove the danger of AC current. Edison proves the danger of AC current. So, trigger content warning, they don't actually show this, but it is still an upsetting clip. If you would like to mute or look away, count to 30. So,
He wanted everyone to know the secret. To set us all free. They used it to drive him insane.
right. And then the implication is that once they took back the apple, they used the influence of the apple to induce the mania and general insanity that Tesla experienced, which is rough. I mean, it's a rough thing to square. Okay, so now we're on to Ford. And with Ford, we are diving straight in. They're not pulling any punches. They're starting with Ford's anti-Semitism, the international Jew, the world's problem. The cipher here is based on this symbol that is in that article and the number 2 on the Roadster. So we line those up there. Henry. So then we get 1 is 2 lines and a dot. 3. So if we're following the sequence here, so 3 dots become a line. So 3 coming after 2 lines and 2 dots would be just 3 dots. Or 3 lines, excuse me. And then 9 would be 1 line and 2 dots. Henry Ford, Dearborn, Michigan. Dear Mr. Edison, I wanted to thank you for letting me make use of PE for all these years. Among several things, I was able to convince the workers I was raising their pay to $5 a day, when in fact I gave them a pay cut. But I had to let PE forego. As per instructions, I've shipped it to Europe. H has it, so I assume the war will begin as soon as he can take over. Well, let him have his fun. Lord knows that kind of purge will be good for Europe, and then end it with a bang as planned. Out of the chaos of war, a new order will emerge. I've enclosed a picture from Florida of you, me, and Firestone. We should attempt to spend more time on the golf course this summer. Yours, Henry Ford. So, here we get into the increasingly, like, this is where we're sort of crossing into like a more, we're going into like a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theories are now becoming more intrinsic to the mythos and history of the game itself. The implication of this letter is that after Edison stole the piece of Eden from Tesla, he lent it to Ford, and Ford leveraged that to take advantage of his workers on the assembly line. And then prior to the outbreak of World War II, he sent the piece of Eden to a person who we can only assume is Hitler, with the intention of producing the Holocaust and World War II. This is rough. This is a very early 2000s, early 2000s and things. This is a very 2000s approach to this. It's pretty aggressive. It was also kind of edgy at the time. It was the type of thing people to this day still think of Edison and Ford as being sort of the fathers of modern innovation. A lot of people look at them without a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? They don't think about it too hard. They don't really scrutinize who they were as much as, we do more now, but it was not the case in 2009. We were like Edison, the Edison Tesla conflict was not something people actively talked about. Henry Ford, the extent to which Henry Ford was an anti-Semite, and the ways in which his innovations around the assembly line did disadvantage workers, and cause problems for labor, was not a big part of the public consciousness in the way it is today, to the extent that it is today. So yeah. It's tough. Like this, the conspiracy stuff we're starting to get into the part where it's weird. And we will see that, the designers realize they've painted themselves into some corners here. The Ubisoft team will we will get into audio logs and things, in future, where they talk a little bit more about, we do get some World War II stuff. We do get a little bit more European history down the road, where we talk about see more of the conspiracy theory stuff. But they in later games, they realize they painted themselves into corners, and they've made it pretty clear they don't have any intention of ever going back into. They don't, or they at least as far as I understand, they have no intention of ever touching World War II. There are too many games about World War II, and B, it would be rough. It would be hard for them to, given what this game is about and what it does, it would be tough for them to, do it with any grace, without having to really unpick it. And I think at this point they know better than to trust themselves to try and do it. So thank you for bearing with me through that one. That's one of the harder ones. That one, the Ford and Edison one, is one of the ones that I think is is more challenging, just in terms of the way it is kind of flippant about parts of history that are really rough. And I know it does it to demonstrate things about the men it's referring to, but I think it also it's done in a way that I think we would. It has the feeling of caricature in a way that I think that is how people would write certain things, but that the tone of that letter would be, I think, would be different today. There would still be aspects of that tone in the letter, but I think that the way it handles, there's a seriousness, there's a seriousness that I think one would come to expect out of discussing even if one was callous and they're trying to, the presentation of these people as being cartoonishly evil, I think, is in some ways a circumstance of the time. I mean, and maybe that's both giving, maybe not, like maybe that's giving too little and too much credit in a couple of different ways, but it's yeah. Yeah, shit. That got to me. That got to me way more than I expected it to. Like, especially having done that, I did that particular puzzle earlier today. I did not expect it to hit me that hard reading back through it. But yeah, it did. So I'm gonna get into a big fight now. Oh no! I'm gonna murder some people who just live here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to just Oh, I can go back to, I 100% can go back to Venice. My plan for today was to try and so full disclosure, my plan for the rest of the day was to try and do 2 more secrets that are here in Florence. But since we've got like another 30, I am happy to pivot back over to walking around Venice. If folks, if you'll bear with me, let me just get through having found one of the other truthy things. Is there anything in particular that they would like to see in Venice? Because the other thing we can do is we can climb a stupidly tall tower in Venice to get to a fun truthy bit. Because at this point, I'm happy to just sort of pander to everybody's wants, whims, and desires. Well, I'm gonna do. Having found this one, I'm gonna. This one's fast, and then we'll go climb that tall tower. So, this is Trinity. This is the Trinity Project. We're jumping right back in from whatchamacallit. We're jumping right back in from oh god. Wait, what? To follow on the ending of the last letter. And I'll quickly just put these in because it took, man, I've now, like, I've done this particular puzzle. I've done enough time that I've functionally memorized it because it sucked. And then 9 is just triangle. Like, figuring this out was the absolute worst. All right. So Abstergo Corporation subject test authorization. There comes a time in the life of every experiment when we must test our results outside in the world. I do not relish a successful outcome, but one is essential if we are to begin the foundations of a new world order. Global security and prosperity depend on a steady hand guiding the populace, a hand that will not falter under the weight of conscience. Give the authorization. I believe that history will vindicate us in the end. So give Oppenheimer the authorization. And now we get to watch nuclear test explosion. Hooray. So yeah, we're the truth is really going for some like fun, weird mask off shit. And then I'm trying to, is there anything else in here No, it is just a radiated number on a sheet of paper. But quick puzzle. And now we get to go back to Venice. So thank you for your patience with me as I did that one. Feather! I found a feather! Ugh. Okay, and then we're gonna climb a big fucking tower. Yeah, not as plot heavy today as we've been, but you know, getting through the metal plot I think is important because I think it ends up being an important flavor on top of everything else. And it also makes it a lot easier, especially because folks haven't experienced the reveal at the end of that. It will make it a lot easier to talk about the rest of the game because it is load bearing. Like it really is kind of it is, you know, kind of critical. And it's so wild not to be able to talk about it. It's so bizarre. God. Okay, hidden blade fighting, so brutal. Just stab him through the eyes.
I'm getting out of here. I want no part of this.
Doop, doop, doop. Okay. Oh, why do you have no money? That's so boring. Ugh. Okay.
Come, friends.
Doop, 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 doop.
Please God, let me leave. Please God, let me leave. Always in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay. So now we go to San Marco. Oh, and we can do a little tourism. I can show you where we stayed. Okay, so when I was in Venice, we stayed. There's a hotel over on the North Island, over at the end, and I stayed there. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it was just so lovely and fun. And actually, it's interesting. There's a seafood restaurant in like this back. Of course, there's a really lovely homestyle restaurant that was like up some stairs in a back alley, like over towards, I guess, the middle. That was like absolutely just to fucking die for. Some of the best food I've ever eaten in my entire life. Absolutely delicious. But it was so weird, like getting off the ferry the first time when we came to Venice, and like when we like came into the city proper, and it was just bizarre, like walking into this square, having spent like literally like hours, like dozens of hours, climbing through the city, running through its streets. Like I just knew, I knew exactly where I was and exactly where I wanted to go. And it was just wild. Just truly exceptionally wild. But Here, before we go do another secret in the truth, we'll go ahead and climb up here so that we can get like a good full. This is actually going to give us like the best view of the city in the game. So we'll be able to just get a nice look at everything. So yeah, and like like up here, it is really pretty. For those who haven't been or aren't familiar, the North Island now goes actually like considerably further out that way. Sort of towards basically the is similar in length, although that run isn't past that point. It isn't public, or it's a different island. I can't remember. It's so cool. And it's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. It is, it is weird looking at it again from here and thinking about like actually being there. And I think one of the things I find as I'm playing these games is that the more I play, the more I just want to go back. I want to go to Italy. It makes me, and this is going to be a problem for me as we are playing through the games. It's all so gorgeous. No, if you're going to buy a condo anywhere in Italy, you should buy it in Rome or Naples. Rome's a fun city. You don't want to buy a condo in Venice because it's sinking into the sea.
I don't know what's happening to me. I've been in the machine. Keep putting me back in, and I am losing control. It's all coming together. I'm holding a rifle. Gettysburg is in the distance. I just stabbed a man, and there's blood on my waistcoat. I'm in bed with her. She cries as I fuck her. I'm speaking at the forum. No one listens. In the forest, hunting. Oh, the moon.
So
I'm here. I have to stay here until you understand. Listen, why do we have these gifts, these abilities? Because it's in our blood.
Okay, subject 16. As we start experiencing him more, is the way he's voiced, the way he's written, is a certain type of guy. I don't want to talk about that too much because we'll get to that more in a couple games, but it definitely, like, it again is kind of towing the line of that weird space of like conspiracy theories, libertarianism, but also like Tesla was great and the internet should be free and free to everybody. And so it's an interesting person that they are presenting here, and that presentation will evolve, and how they justify it will become interesting. So this puzzle, the seeds were planted as two worlds became one. Behold the assassins, the children of two worlds. So Danae visited by Zeus. The Three Graces, interesting. Venus of Urbino, Jupiter and Io. Adam X. Leda and the Swan. Cupid and Psyche. Hero and Leander. Cleopatra before Caesar. The Rape of Europa. So, what do all those pictures have in common? Those are depictions of the... Yes, nudity. All of the pictures had nudity in common, but the pictures that led to the code are all depictions of the conception of demigods. Which is weird. It's a thing that hasn't come up in this game before. But like this suddenly is introducing the concept of not just the concept of like a divine hybrid, but also potentially a pantheon. It's such a swerve. But here it is. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so what time is it? Okay, it is 9:46. While I totally let's see, where are we? So I am gonna go back and do. So we've come back to Venice. We've taken a look at Venice. I am gonna take us back to Florence. I am gonna try and get us through, because I think right now, having crossed into this, I want to get at least one more of the truth sections in, because I think we need a little bit more content to flesh out the bit that we just looked at. And I promise most of the rest of the game is going to take place in Venice. We're gonna be here. I won't leave you hanging. Like we're gonna go to a masquerade. We're gonna kill people while we're wearing masks. Like it's gonna be very fun. We're gonna run away from guards and dive into canals. It's gonna be great. But I wanna fill in some of a little bit more, rather than just dropping some color into an empty space and saying we'll get back to it. And if that means that Zonkared has to say no more for today, thank you. Well, I'll be sad, but I will respect it. So. God, these games are so weird. This is the other thing about this method, the other thing about like going through and like doing really like going through and like doing a bit more of a deeper read on things as we go through is how fucking weird it all comes into much sharper relief. It is really bizarre. And somehow it works. Somehow I do think at the end of the day, it does work out. It does make sense. It holds together, but it is so fucking weird. Besides, I mean, look at this. It's not Venice, but it's still pretty. And as someone who is more mountains, and granted, like Venice is a special kind of ocean, but as someone who's more mountains than ocean, like I can't, like hard for me to argue with how pretty this is. So I'm looking for the Marcato, and Santa Croce. Okay. I'm pretty sure that we're... Nope. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just get out of your way.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. Never mind. I just remembered that I have to take my car into the shop tomorrow. Like, that was not an in-game oh fuck. That was a, like, I gotta go to the auto shop at 8 a.m. Has no impact on stream. Just a thing that appeared in my brain. Because human brains are weird. And sometimes you just have thoughts. All right, let's see where. Listening for the tinkle, tinkle, tinkling of the weird little things. Also, there we go. I'm pretty sure. That's Feather. Okay. That's not why we're here. Bruno, focus up. Focus up. It's around here somewhere. I know it is close. It's close. God damn it. Where is it? Come on. Is it over? Yeah. Is it over here? God damn it. Where is it? Frustrated by my lack of perfect memory. It's around here somewhere. I know it. I know it for sure. There it is. Okay. Guardians. Unlocking the file. The death of all tyrants will set the people free. The assassins. John Wilkes Booth, Francis Dolivar, Francisco Pizarro, Marie, the First of England, Thomas de Torque, Cleopatra, Joseph Stalin, Rasputin. These are all targets of the assassins, not assassins themselves. That is kind of important. Or they're all assassins. I don't know. Like, it is weird. Like, again, so we have a weird mix. Like, Cleopatra was an assassin, was a target of an assassin. Hard to say. John Wilkes Booth and Rasputin. Like, we've had Rasputin come up, but Rasputin seemed to be a tool of the Templar, so there's some like inconsistency there. So that's why it seems like they are targets rather than assassins. But again, weird. We're getting into this weird space of the conspiracy is trying to hold on to a needle where it can like be politically interesting, be a little bit, like, be politically interesting, be edgy, be challenging, but not, throw people off too much. And I think it struggles. When we get to here. But it's doing the best it can. It is doing the very, very best it can, for the time. That's way more generous than I actually want to be. I'm just finding that words are harder and harder to come by as we approach the 10 o'clock hour. All right, let's try one more. Let's get back over to the market, and try to remember where the market was. It was by the water, I think. Yeah, it must have been. Because it's where we met the fox, which means pretty sure it was down here. So let's go that way. Pick up this copy of the painting of St. John the Baptist. But yeah. And every time we buy art, the value of our property grows. Again, and I know I think I've already said this once, but on this recording, it is really a joy to be able to go through this insanity with people who haven't done it before, because you can't ever go back. Like you can't ever watch The Sixth Sense for the first time. You can't ever, watch Empire Strikes Back for the first time. There are things that you can't unlearn. And so being able to vicariously experience that weirdness through all of you is truly a joy. Yeah, like Rocky Horror. Well, because I think Rocky Horror, there are also, if nothing else, there are, I think, levels to Rocky Horror virginity in some ways. Like you see Rocky Horror for the first time, and then you go to a Rocky Horror show for the first time. But agree. What the fuck? I have no notoriety. I'm just trying to get a place. God damn it. Motherfuck. Fuck, motherfuck. Motherfuck. Noise. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me. My jungle love. Oh. I wanna get to know ya. I gotta watch Dogma. Okay, apparently I'm wrong about where I'm going. Okay, well, we're gonna solve this by climbing up and then jumping. We're gonna get this viewpoint and then jump into a basket of hay. I will admit, I'm kind of sad I didn't sell my Dogma DVD when it was worth like $80, because they're about to with the. I think they've figured out. I think it is now. Well, no, I don't know, actually, because I know, like, part of the problem with Dogma is that it's actively owned by Weinstein. Like, he owns the rights to the film, which is why it doesn't. Which is why it, like, hasn't gone anywhere. Because he sucks the worst, most. And it's also just insane, like, the fact that one person did. Yeah, anyway. far too late to get into that. This is also, yeah, physical media is the best. That's why it's important to know how to rip things. Cannot let the old arts die. Torrent technology is alive and well out in the world. Where the fuck is the market? What the hell, guys?
You have to.
It's around here somewhere, I know. And then I promise I'll let you go. You're all being so chill and patient with my madness, as I am like obsessively like, I have to find this thing. You guys gotta see the truth. I'm your weird uncle. I mean, I don't, I don't want to presume. I'm not necessarily your weird uncle. But, you gotta know the truth, man. It's the real world out there. Okay. Well, that's not the church I need. But I think it's close. Come on. Really? You could fucking... I say, the market is near, like, it has to be near water. Where is it? I thought I knew where it was, but now I don't know if I know who I am anymore. I'm so confused. I'm at a loss. I just don't even understand. Where is the market? Where is it? I just wanted to look at the weird art for the secrets. The secrets. I just wanted to look at the weird art for the secrets. Just let me look at it. I don't fucking know, man. So out here just like maybe if I get this viewpoint it'll help me see somehow where it is. Again, this is one of those quality of life things that I think in the next game they resolve, because you can from the database you can set location markers on the map for places, so that it's not nearly as much of a pain in the ass. But it is what it is. Oh, is that it? No. Fuck. Where the fuck are you? Like, 'cause I know it's close. Like, I remember it being close to the prison, right? 'Cause like we met up with the fox, and then we ran along the water to get, well, yeah, okay, let's just swim along the water. Fine. 'Cause he kicked our ass in a foot race to get... Motherfucker, kid. Fine. If you're gonna swim with some speed. Alrighty. Okay, we'll deal with those later. You're around here somewhere, fella. I know that to be true. Perhaps. Well, fuck. I feel a fool. I really did think that this was just going to take like a couple minutes, and going kind of batty. Let's see. Right. Well, if I was some sort of marketplace, no, because that's shit. Okay. Well,
That the young men have been climbing the
God damn it. Talk about an anticlimax. Had a great idea, and now I'm just sort of at a bit of a loss. Is that? Let's see. Let's see. Are you over here, maybe? All right. No, it's okay. San Lorenzo. Oh, but okay. No, market stalls. I like market stalls. It's moving in the right direction. Although I guess no guarantee. Shut the fuck up. Go away, Bard. Go away. Man, I felt like this stream felt good. Like I felt like the banter was up. I was able to sort of keep a good flow, and I am dragging your asses through some of the worst entertainment I could imagine. I'm just like, hey, what if I run around in circles until I find a building? Where's the building? Don't remember, but we're gonna find it. Don't you worry. I'm gonna tackle this man now, though. Look at how much money he got me for tackling him. It's a foot tour of the Doors of Italy. Also, the Doors of Italy sounds like a show that would be on TLC in 2009. Hosted by the Bear Contessa's, like, cousin. Like, he's gotta be... Well, yeah. Shut up. Okay. The Doors of Italy is a time traveling movie. It's a movie about a time traveling chef who falls in love with a woman who owns a hardware store.
I didn't mean any harm.
Yeah. Shut up. Alrighty.
Has pushed the price up 600 ways. And the
You're not allowed through.
Go.
Skiing.
Is that it? No. Where are you? I hear the shimmer. Oh, I already got that one. Damn it. Fucking balls. Okay. Give myself 4 more minutes. and then I will do my sign off. Because I'm reaching the point of this is fun, but I'm tired. And it is fun. This is like there is something deeply satisfying about, like, it's somewhere in the city. Kind of the best and only way to find it is to just sort of run around in circles until you find it. Okay, so it's not here. Motherfuck. Start strong, end weak. Potato, tomato. Good butts. All right. Well, shit. I think, given the number of times I've fallen, the responsible thing is probably to call it, because I can only see this going downhill from here. I don't anticipate my performance is going to improve. At this point. And I find it increasingly unlikely that I'm going to find the thing I'm looking for based on running around and being disappointed. Which is too bad. But hey, we will find them next time. Next time around, we will track down these last two secrets in Florence and do a little sweep up of codex pages in the beginning. And then we'll dive into the next you're very welcome. We'll dive into the next bit of Assassinations in Venice and start having a little bit more fun there. So as always, if you aren't following us on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, please consider doing so. We are Falcon Fictive. And if you are, thanks as always. It has been fun, and I'll see you again at 7:30 next Thursday. Stay cool, stay safe, resist fascism, be kind to each other. Bye.